Let me tell you a story. It begins as all the best stories do, with once upon a time. Once upon a time, the peoples of the world worshipped the feminine divine and respected her in all her aspects, before she was twisted into a more palatable shape. Once upon a time, the maiden held the power of the moon, who controlled the rise and fall of oceans. She was the huntress, a warrior, protector of innocence and deliverer of justice, but not the blind and calculated justice of the scales, but the harsh justice of the wild, of the bears and the wolves she ran with, of the hounds that would rip you limb from limb, for the simple crime of gazing upon her form with lust in your heart and a desire for dominance on your mind. She never needed salvation from any man, no knight in shining armor, for she was no damsel in distress, until you locked her in the tower of your fear and ignorance. Once upon a time, the mother held the power of creation, of the warmth and the moisture of the earth in which all things grow. Yes, she guarded the hearth and raised the children, but she was so much more. She was the creator of all life and the primal desire that entails. The fucking and rutting and plowing and sowing of seeds in her fertile womb. She brought forth the bounty of the harvest, and her followers were fruitful as well. She birthed the very universe and all within it, before she was relegated to the kitchen, the nursery, the nunnery. She never hid in the bathroom to feed her babes, for fear that you might glimpse a teat that nourishes the world. In your fear and ignorance, you separated her compassion and her love from her strength and the carnality that produces life. Once upon a time, the crone held the power of the mysteries, the wisdom of ages. She unraveled the secrets of life and death and all the spaces between. She was a mystic, a sorceress, a healer, and the midwife to humanity. She communed with the forest and the mountains and the spirits in all things. She beheld sights unseen and had knowledge untold, far beyond mortal conception. She walked the dark places and dealt in death, destruction, and decay. In your fear and ignorance, you called her monster, hag, witch. You stoned her, tortured her, drowned her, and burned her at the stake. But you forgot. She also governs transformation and rebirth. You called her crazy and locked her away, averted your eyes to make her invisible. Just a feeble old woman, nothing to fear. But once upon a time, she walked the dark of the moon and gained power in all things hidden, and she remembers. She remembers a time before the triumvirate of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. She remembers when she was maiden and mother and not just crone. She remembers when the patriarchy sundered her into triune aspects in its attempt to govern her, displace her, weaken her. But she did not die. She will recreate herself and be reborn in all her power, and she will remember all the injustices you committed upon her and her followers in your fear and ignorance.